Hi, it's me again, and I thought today we could have another chat about one of the articles I found on the internet about the telly licence. But this time I thought it'd be fun to leave it up to you guys out there to decide if this article is pro-BBC or if it's against the BBC. Let's take a look. Time to kill the TV licence. The BBC is mediocre and mired in scandals. Refusing to pay for it should not be a crime. So have you guessed which side of the fence this article falls yet? Let's carry on reading. The television licence is not the least worst method of financing public broadcasting in Britain, it's the worst possible method. It's not just the expense, the licence fee guarantees that we have a state broadcaster, not a public broadcaster. The only meaningful economic signals the BBC receives come from the government, which controls its budget and appoints its governors. The BBC is incapable of fostering a meaningful relationship with the public. We must pay for it, whether we like it or not. See, that is the big problem, I think. I don't think it would matter if the BBC put out the best TV shows ever made, like they did back in the day, like Only Fools and Horses and that best sitcom ever made. But I don't think even today, if they did something that brilliant, people would still like the BBC, because people's eyes are open now to the fact that you're forced to pay it in a world where there's so much choice about what you can watch and what you can choose to pay to watch and whatever. So I think the BBC, there's no way they can pull this back, I don't think. Let's read on. This toxic relationship is founded on the use of criminal convictions to enforce payment for BBC services. This is a method not available to providers of other, arguably more essential services such as water and electricity. The BBC pays outsourcing firm Capita roughly £60 million a year to collect the licence fee and to chase those who fail to pay. Nearly 200,000 people are prosecuted for non-payment every year. Women are the prime victims. They make up nearly 3/4 of those prosecuted. Yeah, I've talked about this before in one of my reading an article videos about the disproportionate amount of women that get prosecuted for TV licence offences over men. And I didn't really know why, but in the comments we all had a bit of a chat about it, and the common consensus was all of the convictions come from being doorstepped by a TV licence inspector. And people believe that women are more easily intimidated than men. And I can believe a bit of that, rightly or wrongly, call me chauvinistic, whatever. But that is what's happening. A conviction and the fines and all of that can only come about if you've spoken to a TV licence inspector. And they can be quite intimidating. And I think that is why there's a disproportionate amount of women that get prosecuted over men. What do you think? We can carry on this conversation in the comments below if you want. Defenders of the BBC say it provides a universal service that offers great value for money. This is questionable, especially since viewers are currently required to pay the £159 a year fee, which is more than a basic subscription to Netflix, whether they consume, admire or trust the BBC or not. It's like having to pay for The Guardian so you can read The Sun. As more broadcasting services become available, the BBC accounts for a dwindling share of TV audiences. Though you might argue it's not the job of the BBC to chase ratings, it's not as if it produces more quality telly or public service broadcasting to make up for this. Its programmes are frequently derivative and mediocre. They're getting worse. They're getting worse because they're not spending the money on it. And as I've said a load of times before, what were the biggest shows you can think of for the last couple of years? So you got The Crown, you've got that Bridgerton thing, all on Netflix. All on Netflix. You've got the Grand Tour, that was massive. Amazon Prime. It's crazy. They've got all the series starting now on Disney Plus, and you've got some huge series. I haven't watched any, I can't get into them. But on Apple TV, there's loads of big series on there as well. When was the last time you could say that about a BBC series? Possibly Call the Midwife. That was pretty popular, but there's rumours now that that's heading over to Netflix. And you got that Line of Duty thing, that was massive. I'll give the BBC credit where it's due. Line of Duty was big. But as you can see, they're competing in an ever-increasing world of content. And unless they're going to start lobbing the money at it, which they don't have, or claim they don't have, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Repeated governance scandals from Savile to Bashir show that its structure is dysfunctional. Respect for the BBC has never been so low, despite the pleading of its admirers at The Guardian and beyond, who often neglect to mention their own tidy streams of payment for appearing on BBC shows. This bloke's pretty good at writing, isn't he? When I started writing about the BBC as the media correspondent for The Times in 1998, I was amazed at the timidity and the complacency of my fellow hacks. Most of them turned out to be angling for gigs on the BBC. One of them got an MBE and his own show. Yeah, I do believe that is one of the reasons you don't see too many reporters slagging off the BBC. It's because they all want to go and work for the BBC, because what a cushy gig that would be, eh? Wouldn't it? There is a reason that the BBC defends its licence fee. It's because it knows that if it was voluntary, a subscription in other words, a vast proportion of viewers and listeners would not pay for it. Thanks to satellite streaming and a riot of competition, TV is becoming a cornucopia of plenty, catering for every imaginable taste. The BBC has become a dinosaur in a media ecology that's evolving at warp speed. The TV licence fee will not save the BBC. It's more likely to destroy it as public resentment grows and the corporation struggles to provide the TV that consumers want. The licence fee has created a cancerous culture, an institution mired in dying technologies, and an evaporating audience. A particularly ill-informed report from a House of Commons committee claims it is now too late for the BBC to switch to a subscription model before the end of its next 10-year charter in 2028. This is arrant nonsense, fed to credulous MPs by BBC lobbyists. This bloke's good, and he good. If the BBC switched to a subscription model, we will soon find out who wants to pay for it. So who wrote this? What was his name? Jonathan Miller, on the 11th of June 2021. Jonathan Miller. I'll say one thing. I wish I could write like you. You are quality. Maybe I should actually study some journalism and then maybe I'll get a bit better at all of this. But what did he say here? The last paragraph there, a particularly ill-informed report from the House of Commons claims it is now too late for the BBC to switch to a subscription model before the end of its next 10-year charter in 2028. What utter nonsense. It's quite a long way away. And they have everything in place. They've got BritBox set up to do streaming. They've got UK TV Play, which they've worked with, and that's set up to do streaming. They've got their iPlayer system. That's set up to do streaming. They can do it. I think the problem is their main audience is a bit older and they don't want to do it. And that's partly why the BBC has said that they're not making any programmes for the older generations anymore. Anyone over 40, the BBC aren't interested in making programmes for you anymore. They've said that publicly. Why is that? It's because if they switch to a subscription model, they're going to get loads of complaints from oldies who aren't able or willing to access it that way. But as I've said a million times, there's an easy way to deal with that. Put all your premium stuff on the streaming thing. You know, let people pay for it if they want to. But keep your BBC News channel if you want it. Why you'd want it, I don't know. Keep your BBC News channel if you want it. And keep, say, BBC One and make them commercial and free to air, and then the licence fee's done and dusted. If people want to pay to see your premium stuff, they can pay to see your premium stuff, can't they? You can still keep BBC Studios and make shows and sell them all around the world and coin in that way. Even on the shows we've all paid for with the licence fees over the year, you can still coin in on those if you want to, that's fine. But the licence fee goes, you've got a couple of commercial TV channels, everything else is behind a paywall, problem's resolved itself. You can't tell me that couldn't happen before 2028. But he hits the nail on the head, doesn't he? This is arrant nonsense fed to credulous MPs by BBC lobbyists. They're all in the same club. And as that, what was that comedian, George Carlin? What was his famous saying?
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all, at all, at all.
You know, it's a big club, and we ain't in it. And that's why we all have to club together and push and push and push and keep talking about it and keep cancelling your TV licences, because the more of that happens, that's going to be the biggest thing. You know, signing the petitions is all well and good. Retweeting stuff and that is all well and good. But the biggest way to get change is to get those TV licences cancelled and let the BBC know you don't want to pay for them anymore. You want the choice of if you're going to pay for it or not. That's the best way. I don't know. But what do you think? I think this is one of the best written articles with some of the fairest points I've read for a very long time on the subject. So the link will be below in the description if you want to go and read this in full. I didn't read all of it. But Jonathan Miller, quality, mate. I wish I could write like you. I'd be a lot more successful in life if I could have written like you, Jonathan Miller. So thank you for writing that. And please don't give me a copyright strike for reading it out in the YouTube videos. Now, if you enjoyed this or if you've got comments about it, all down below in the comments. We'll have a bit of a chat about it. While you're down there, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well if you haven't already. This channel is really growing. In the last year, we have gone from, I think it was 5,000-6,000 subscribers this time last year, and we've just crossed 40,000 subscribers. So we're really growing, and that's all thanks to you guys watching the videos, leaving your comments, liking, and subscribing. And we're going to get more and more powerful. We're going to get more and more powerful. All of us together, we're all in this together. I just make the pokey little videos. You are the guys that watch them, talk about them, and share them. So it's more about you than it is about me. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in another video again soon. Bye.